celebrations, connections, callings, self-care. We've done it all in season number 1. Were you here for it? Well, listen, if you weren't, no worries, because on today, we're going to take you through a walk and look back at season 1. But guess what? We're also going to give you some highlights for season number 2.
Welcome to Grace to Care. Take a breath, pull up a chair, little laugh, little truth to share with Grace to Care. Together for the ones who hold it off through the late calls.
Welcome to Grace to Care. I'm Fern Sapp.
And I'm Jessica Banner, and we're here having conversations on the grief, grit, and gift of caregiving.
Reminding you that in caregiving, you were never meant to walk alone because we are Grace to Care. Oh my goodness, Jessica.
Oh, I can't believe the end of season 1.
It's so hard to believe. I mean, just to think we started out in season 1 and our primary goal of this podcast is to make sure that as caregivers, you are seen. And boy, oh boy, Jessica, did we see it all.
So good. We've had some incredible guests, and we've just talked about some really great things, and we've gotten some great feedback in our community and online for those of you who join us there and on YouTube. So it's been exciting. It's been great to just throw this conversation in the ring and say, let's talk about it.
Yeah. I feel like that song, I've been everywhere, right? I feel like we have been everywhere. And it's been beautiful because we've had an opportunity to talk not just about the hard of caregiving, but even about the heart of caregiving. And I think that's so important because we do look at it and yes, it's hard. You know, that's where we get the grit from. For those of you that are just joining in, you know, we're saying that we're going to have conversations on the grief, the grit, and the gift of caregiving. And so sometimes it is hard.
It is.
But we've also looked at, you know, the heart behind it all, the love, the passion. I mean, really.
Absolutely. I have loved that we've had some really raw and vulnerable moments this season with people. And that's that telling the truth about the grief and the grit. But I also love that we've been able to celebrate, like Mr. Willie said, those small victories, right? Because care recipients have them, but we as caregivers have them, right? We have victories.
Yes.
And so, and just the gift of what it is to love and take care of somebody. And that's that heart piece, right? Like we may have those hard days where we get angry or frustrated or we feel guilty or, you know, but there are the days that we have the joy and the love and the compassion and the kindness, you know.
And the laughter.
We've laughed.
We've laughed a lot. We've laughed a lot. You know, what's also incredible about being on this journey together is we get a chance to see the value of community. And we understand how important it is for us to stick together and to, you know, be there for one another. For those that haven't heard the song and really listened to it, we say, because in caregiving, you're never meant to walk this road out on your own because we're Grace to Care together. So community has been a big part of that season.
Absolutely. I think it's why I'm so passionate about it, because I know in my own journey, I watched a lot of my community go away. And it just made it so critical to me how important it is that we have a community, we build a community, we find that community, because there are people who are meant to be a part of it.
Yes.
Even if some go because they can't hold that space because of their own stuff and what they've got going on, there are people who will definitely walk with us.
Yeah. You know, we talk about how we love season number 3 or episode number 3. We're not in season 3 yet, right?
No. We just got started.
We're just getting started, right? We're just finishing 1, right? But we already see down the road, right?
Yes, we are.
But we talk about, you know, just how we love episode number 3. But we have been through so many episodes. I mean, we launched the celebration, or we had our launch celebration.
Yeah.
And we looked at, you know, just kicking everything off. We dealt with, and this is the thing I think in episode 3 that was really so speaking and foretelling, and that is how unexpected the calling really can be.
Right. And I loved what you said about the stop fighting, because we can fight it or we can accept it and embrace it. Yeah. That was so good. Yeah.
You know, we also really came out of a few seasons where we talked about stabilizing and how important it is to stabilize ourselves through counseling, stabilize ourselves in self-care, stabilize ourselves even when you're in that hospital room, right? Really dealing with the waiting room within. That was, I enjoyed that season too, that episode. I keep starting to say seasons,
I know.
guys.
She's getting ahead of herself.
I'm getting way ahead.
She's signing us up for the long term.
Yes, but the episodes have been, here it is. The episodes have been epic.
Yeah. They've been really phenomenal.
They have. Well, listen, what we want to do is take you back down memory lane. So if you weren't here, we're going to show you a few clips out there and just allow you to see where we've come from. Take a look. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. I'm Fern Sapp along with
Jessica Banner
and Miriam Lewis.
And as you know, Jessica and I are co-owners of Grace to Care podcast, but we also serve as podcast hosts. And today with us, we have Miriam Lewis, who is also a co-owner of Grace to Care and our editorial host.
Woo! Now, this is the moment you've been waiting for. We're going to show you the teaser, the sneak peek. We're going to show you a clip of Fern and Jessica, and they're discussing how you want to fight the fight we have and not the one we want. They're going to help us to really understand how we get to shift from fighting to embracing. Let's roll the clip.
You know, we were talking about what would be one takeaway that we would have from just the seasons that we're in. And I was thinking about that. And when I look at it and just look at all of the various seasons and spaces that we've been, I said if there was one takeaway or one thing that I would tell myself now that I wish that I told myself then, and that would be stop fighting it. Seasons don't ask permission.
They don't.
Seasons don't ask for permission, right? They arrive, they show up at your door, whether you're ready for them or not, whether you feel like it or not.
Yeah.
They don't ask for permission, but we have to be willing to adapt.
Right.
I want us to really talk about, just how to move through some of the seasons because, of course, there's this place of learning.
Right.
So I think about the season that I was in when we were learning. The reason why I think it's important that we talk about them is because when you understand where you're at, then you understand what to do about where you're at. Right. Mm-hmm. It was about facing the fact that this was not temporary, that this was something that we're going to be going on. And so I was caring, but I wasn't really present. Right. So I was doing it and running through the motion, but I wasn't really present. It's like I was there in deed, but not in mind and not in heart, because there was this inner resistance that was actually going on inside of me.
In life, I had all these things going on and I was juggling it, and I had that rhythm that we were talking about. Yeah. And part of, I think, my takeaway is just let it fall. Just let it fall. Because then when you can assess it, you can pick up what you need and you find your new rhythm.
Am I functioning, but I'm not steady, right? Come to that place where you recognize that. And if you say, yes, that's me, don't try to fix everything, right? Don't try to fix everything. Stabilize one thing, right? It may be something as simple as go to bed earlier. Oh my goodness. It's hard to believe that we walk through all of that.
It is. I think about where we started in August, you and I, and then Miriam joined us. And it is pretty amazing just to see what has happened and to look back at the things that have been in our hearts and even getting to know each other's stories, but also the real wisdom that came from each of the guests we've had this season. It's great to look back because there's still gold in that. There's still nuggets in those things.
Lots of nuggets. Episode 4, did you all see and hear that about finding your rhythm? I mean, I'm looking at it now on this side and it's like, yes, okay, we had to really get in here, and you have to figure out in caregiving, what is your rhythm? And when you can find your rhythm, it really helps to pace your day and your assignment in a greater way. I mean, that was, like you said, pure nuggets.
It's so good. You know, and I would love for you and I just to kind of be spectators of our own project, you know? And I really want us to talk about what have been some of the big takeaways of this season for us.
I love that. So we get a chance to kind of like just sit back and
We
look.
get to spectate.
You know, if I were to just kind of sit back and think about some of the episodes, the epic episodes, I would say just really looking at that space that says you can love and still be tired. Like, it's okay to love and to still be tired. I mean, even coming off of that, we had several episodes, you know, that dealt with it's okay, you know, and I wanted to coin that phrase. In fact, we're still going to get some t-shirts, hashtag it's okay.
It's okay.
But understanding that there is this both and not either or that exists in caregiving, and to realize that you can love someone dearly, and we do, and you can still be tired. That was almost like getting a relief.
It lifts some weight off the shoulder. Absolutely. You know, I think one of the things that was really impactful to me is that caregiving changes us. And that doesn't have to be a negative thing, right? Like we talked about, stop fighting and accept the assignment. But caregiving has now become a part of your life story. Yeah. It's become a part of that journey that's going to shape you. And it can be good if you want it to be, and if you let it be, and including the hard stuff, right? Like we always talk about how things get reinforced under the heat and the pressure and the storm, right? And we're going to have those in caregiving, but there can be really beautiful things that come out of, they can happen during caregiving, but they also happen post caregiving, right? Like even this for me was a byproduct of caregiving, right? It really helped put the fuel of, I didn't even realize was a lifetime passion for caregivers. It's what really ignited, I want to have more voice and more space for caregivers, because it altered who I was, and it altered my passion points and who I really wanted to care for, you know?
You know, you said something in one of the episodes that I will never forget, and that was, it's okay to let it all fall. It's okay. Like, to stop juggling and it's okay. Just let it fall. Let it all fall, you know? And I had a moment one day where I literally had Willie just laughing. He says, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Letting it all fall." You know, I was just laying in the bed, had my feet, you know, twisted up in the air. And I said, I'm just letting it fall. I'm on a beach. And I started, you know, just creating this scenario where I was at. But it was from that, you know, that word, that message that, you know, the space where you're speaking to the caregiver and you say, it's okay. Let it all fall. I love that episode.
I love that you say that, because I've gotten that feedback about saying that. But I remember when I said it, I was like, oh no, I don't want people to think like you should just drop everything and it's you. But it is true, because when we're in those moments all the time and we're go, there's something about letting your mind and your body just completely release. Because then you can resurvey the land, and you can make active, responsive choices to what you're picking up and how you want to approach it. Yeah.
Here's something that I loved about season 1. And for those of you that are following us on social media, you get a chance to see every week, pretty much every week or every other week, we're constantly putting out the voices of our caregivers. And so if you are a caregiver and you want your voice to be heard, hey, listen, go to our website, www.grace2care.com, and complete that form so that we know you're out there at least, right? Send us something. Send us an email, admin@grace2care.com, so we know you're out there and you want to be heard. Because one of the greatest things we did in season 1 is we introduced the voices of the caregivers. And it was absolutely incredible because we got a chance to hear from several of our caregivers.
Yeah, it has been one of my favorite things because because even for us, we started this, but it even started forming community for us to start connecting to other caregivers and going, see, they resonate with it too. And our stories matter individually and uniquely, but there's common threads that run through our stories, and there's shared experiences, even if they don't look exactly alike. And when they don't look alike, we have nuggets for each other. Sometimes it's practical strategies, and sometimes it's just sharing that heart space. You know, like we got to recently hear somebody share just the raw of their story. I think even for me in this season, even though it was a little bit different, like even hearing Mr. Willie's voice and the two of you sharing your story together. And so these voices of caregivers, because that was you all's voice of caregiving. And yeah, so we just want to share that again with you, some clips backward about who our voices have been.
Yeah, let's listen in.
Hi, my name is Peggy Clemens. I'm a caregiver for my 93-year-old mom. One thing that caregiving has taught me that I never expected to learn is that caregiving is a gift. And that gift allows me to share and bond with her with the memories that we have, with love, with compassion and patience as she navigates through this part of her journey.
Thing I wish someone had told me about caregivers is it's going to be challenging. You're going to get angry. You're going to lose control. You're going to cry. You're going to question God. And you're going to feel really bad about being angry to take care of your loved one. Once you get over that, you realize that you were chosen to do this and that you have the strength more than you think. You just have to dig deep. But it's a challenge. It's okay. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel guilty, because we feel guilty that we're angry to take care of someone that we love. So forgive yourself. Forgive yourself and know it's okay. Because caregiving, there's no book that you can read. Every situation is different. Every day is different. So it's okay to fall apart, so long as you know you have to get back up, because somebody's depending on you to help them to their next step.
Hello, my name is Lindsay, and just over 6 months ago, I got married to the man of my dreams. On day 8 of our marriage, we received a really difficult stage 4 metastatic sarcoma cancer diagnosis. So I've been caring for my amazing husband, Hargos, for just over 6 months now. Something that I would really like to share with other caregivers who may feel alone is, first of all, I apologize, because I really took for granted what caregivers do and just the level of care and love that they give to those around them. And secondly, I would say, keep on keeping on. You don't know what impact you are having on that person that you are caring for. And I'm daily reminded that the Lord's power is made perfect in our weakness. And may you receive that strength from the Lord, and may you know that you are not alone. There is a great community of fellow friends and believers cheering you on and just telling you how amazing you are and how grateful I am for just showing me that example of what a caregiver is.
Wow, 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 wow. I mean, just to listen in and to hear the voices of those that are out giving care again is just, I mean, it's just mind blowing. So as we shared, I'm looking forward to hearing more.
You know what I loved about this spread of voices is that we got to hear from people in different stages of caregiving, right? We've had somebody who was on the front end and been living that front end journey of stepping into that. And we also got to hear from someone that we met at a conference share the after. After he'd been able to be in it and process it, and he got to share his thoughts on the backside of this is what it was like to caregive. And so I really love that we get to meet our caregivers in different spaces in the process.
Yeah. And I loved what one of them, you all heard her, she talked about the joy in caregiving. And sometimes, she was just like, this is such a joy. And sometimes you miss that. That's the gift. Her whole testimony, you heard it was really about the gift of caregiving. And so again, we just can't wait to hear from some of you. So please be sure that you reach out to us and let us know that you'd like to be heard, because we want to hear the voices of our caregivers. But oh my goodness. Not only, guys, did we get an opportunity to hear from our caregivers, but we had a very, very, very special guest.
We did.
In fact, he was our first guest.
He was.
I get a chance to see him every day. We got a chance to hear from Mr. Willie Sapp.
That was such a gem. It was honestly an honor to be in the room. And I know I said it a minute ago, but there was something really humbling about getting to be with the two of you as you shared your experience for the first time together publicly. There was an awe in the room.
Yeah. It was a real awe lingering. In fact, I think we should take them in there. You think we should?
Yeah, let's go back.
Let's go back. Here you go. Take a look. Talk to that person who's receiving care like you. What do you say to them for how to navigate and how to move through, the waters when things begin to change in your life?
Well, number one, you got to say that things will get better. Don't think that things going to get worse. You got to have a positive attitude. And you got to have people around you who have a positive attitude. And with that, the two of you or three of you, how many around you who helps out, can really conquer this. I call it conquering, but you may not get 100% back. But each day, if you're living better than you did yesterday, I call it a victory. Some people don't realize that God put us here for a purpose. And even though I am in the state I'm in, there's a reason for that. I could have perfect health and still service people. But because I'm the way I am, there's a purpose for me being on this earth. I figure every day I wake up, God means I have not completed my task yet.
Yeah.
And that's my reason for waking. I would say for men, you have to let your guard down. You have to make sure, I wouldn't say make sure, just have to trust the people who are helping you. Because they have your interests at heart. And theirs, it's not just a one-sided story.
Sure.
Like I said, one plus one equals one in this situation.
Okay. That's one of those, let's breathe again.
Yeah.
Purpose. Purpose. Come on. Oh.
He had so much gold in what he had to say. But that idea that I'm still here, and every day that I'm still here, it means I still have something to do. And I love that he called those things to do victories.
Victories.
Right.
Victory. And the amazing thing is just connecting it back to that purpose that we have in life and understanding that regardless of what state we may be in, physically, emotionally, we all have purpose. And for him to connect it back there, it just gave us such a perspective that I'm walking away now saying, wow, I got a chance, what he say, to wash my face today. That's a victory, right? Yeah. Because there's purpose in it all. So, wow.
Yeah. It was a very special moment. And I remember when I met Mr. Willie, I peppered him with questions.
Yes.
Like, I was like, I need to get to know
Interviewed him.
Mr. Fern. Right? But I was just so blown away about how passionate he is for men, receiving care, but how valuable that is for care recipients as men, but also as caregivers, how we can come along and support, you know, husbands, grandfathers, brothers, uncles, you know, even our sons, you know, how do we support them when they're so used to being protectors, providers, you know, what does it look like to maintain that autonomy and that dignity along the way? And I was just really blown away at his passion for that.
You know, I really also gathered, and I think it was a great space for us as caregivers to hear, but I gathered how important it is to hear the voice sometimes of that care recipient, because then we get a chance to see it from the other side. It's like we know what we're giving, but we don't necessarily always know what they're receiving. We know what our intent is, right? But we don't always necessarily know what is actually being received and how it's being processed. And so I believe that entire interview, listen, we only were able to give you a clip of it, but you should go back and watch it. It was season 1, episode number 5. So you should go back and make sure that you watch it, because we were just able to give you a highlight. And as caregivers, many times we do need to pause for a moment and hear the voice of the care recipient so we can understand what they're receiving and how they receive what they're receiving.
And I think it was just a great reminder. There's a lot of times we don't think to have those intentional conversations. We can get so in the busy of, this is our routine and these are all the things we have to do to make sure you've got what you need and I've got what I need, and we can get work done on the side. And to actually just sit down and talk about what's the real impact here for both of us, you know, that we both hold a space in this journey and this process, and that those intentional conversations are important in that caregiving journey.
I'm super excited. As I shared before, you all are going to get a chance to even hear even more through another resource that we'll be putting out, Grace to Care, you know, so you'll be able to a chance to hear it. So now we've come through and walked through season 1. And again, you're going to just go ahead and have to get you some popcorn and binge through season 1. You can make it through, right? Just set aside your time and go watch the episodes because they're amazing, or listen to them, because not only are we on YouTube, so you're on our YouTube channel. In fact, if you're not already, would you please go subscribe to our YouTube channel, right? Because listen to this, the more of you that are out there, the more YouTube allows us an opportunity to push even more so that you can receive it. And so make sure you go and subscribe if you're not on our YouTube channel. But listen, maybe you want to listen to it in the car, or maybe you want to go out for a jog. We are on Spotify, we are on Apple, and so you can go and subscribe to us there, so that if you are an auditory person where you just want to listen in, you can listen in. Community has been really top for us.
It has. And I think in our episodes, we've had the ability to kind of explore that a little bit. And I loved when we had Dr. Pamela Bridgman. Yes. Oh, wait, she's working on her doctorate. Look, I'm getting ahead of the game. She's getting there. She's almost there. Pamela Bridgman, and she was so great talking to us about stabilization and giving us some incredible exercises, and even just to encourage how coaches and counselors and pastoral support are all really important parts of our community. So I really loved having that conversation with her.
Yeah. That was like episode 7. I'm really seeing that as being weakness, to really seeing it as being a partnership that's actually valuable and needed.
If you think in terms of, I am caring for someone, they ask me for help, I'm expending energy, then I too need some way to revive myself. The other thing, and Jessica knows, be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You deserve to take care of you. And part of taking care of you is asking for help. But here's a caveat. You got to make sure you ask the right person.
Episode 8, you and I, came in and got a chance to really talk about the waiting room within. Most of us have been in the hospital, have been in the rehab facilities, been in the nursing home. And so I love that we got a chance to share in that episode what it really means to be prepared and to take care of yourself, stabilize yourself, even while you're in the waiting room for somebody else.
Yeah. And I love that episode had so many practical tips about how to take care of yourself and how to just walk that journey and be a really good advocate for yourself and your care receiver.
Yeah. Oh, helping us to, really round it out. Episode 9. Okay. You all need to get episode 9 and put it on repeat. We had Dr. Tony Alvarado with us. I like to call her like the self-care specialist. And when you get a chance to hear, as you said earlier today, the nuggets that she was able to drop with us on how self-care is really not a luxury, but it is a necessity.
Yeah.
So you're talking about that community. She shares something that, the community, the board.
Yes. Having your board. And I loved that she pointed out that our own self-care is a part of the things that we're stewarding and a part of the things that we're responsible to do.
Yeah.
Right. I loved that we talked about the accountability and the commitment, putting it on the calendar. It's so funny. I know we think about tornadoes as a negative thing, but as she was talking, I was like, it's like a tornado. She's got all this information and it's so good. And it's such a stirring, right? She gave us so much, stirred the pot to be really thinking about how do we take care of ourselves as we're caregivers.
Yeah. She gave us an acronym. I'm not going to tell you what all the letters stand for. It was SEA. So you're going to have to go and watch episode 9 so that you can hear. We've already just talked about one of the A's. I bet if you were to get in the chat box, you can probably tell us what the A is. But I want you to go watch it and then come back here and hashtag SEA. That way we know that you see what she told us we need to see.
Develop a self-care board of directors.
Ooh, tell me more.
I want to hear more about that. So in my book, Harmonize Your Life, A Journey Towards Self-Care, I developed what I call the self-care board of directors. And what that means is, it's just like any other board. I recognize that I'm the chair of the board. Right? I'm the chair of the board, which means that it's my responsibility. My self-care is not anyone else's responsibility, it's mine.
SEA.
And I'd say if you watched it, go back and watch it again because there was so much in that episode that you're probably going to catch new things. Yeah.
So I'm excited about that, but I'm also very excited about season number 2.
Season 2.
Oh my goodness. We are going to go deeper. We're going to go deeper. One of the things that we've recognized in season number 1 is there is this ecosystem. There is this space in this place where we need one another. This was something that also a quote that we love to share from Mr. Willie Sapp, right? That 1 + 1 equals 1.
Equals 1.
1 + 1 equals 1. Let's talk about that out. Let's talk about this ecosystem for a moment because I know that we brought the wheel so we can just kind of at least show it. Can we show it for a minute?
Sure.
Okay. We're just going to and guess what? If you are listening and you can't see, it's going to be on our resource page. So don't worry. We've got something out there for you. We get a chance to see it. But I love it because in it, we're dealing with all of these facets and all these areas: family, friends, medical team, rehab, counseling, respite, your faith, whatever that is, your spiritual support, support groups, right? Finance, legal, home,
Technology and tools. That's a big one for me. I'm always about the assistive technology, education and training. Yes. Yeah.
So I'm excited because we're going to get a chance in season number 2 to really go even deeper and realize that it's not just one person that we need on this journey of caregiving, but it is 1 + 1 = 1. And that one, as Mr. Sapp says, can be hundreds of people. It can be thousands of people. But we understand that there are spaces where you might have decision fatigue. You just can't figure it out, right? But guess what? Someone in the ecosystem that we're going to bring on and bring those resources to you can help you to figure that out.
And what I love about this caregiver ecosystem that we've kind of been dreaming up as we've been having that conversation with all these people is we're going to get to start inviting in partners from the community, voices from the community, different resources, programs. It's going to really open up our ability to have guests that can provide good information for you or resources, but even their own stories. Because so many people I have found in this journey so far, so many people work in caregiving because they've been caregivers.
That is so true. That is so true. Well, listen, one of the things that we've been talking about, of course, is resources, and we have an amazing resource. So we're going to pause for a moment and go to a commercial so you get an opportunity to hear about our affirmation journal. Hold for a moment. Caregiving changes everything, and that's why we've created our Grace to Care affirmation journal. It's available in both English and Spanish versions.
The pages are filled with encouragements, reflections, and gentle reminders that you are not alone.
Just a few minutes a day can allow you to have the time to pause, to reflect, and to really just stay grounded.
And to get your copy, you can get it at gracetocare.com or the link in our bio.
Now that's something that we're super excited about. We're excited about the affirmation journal. And listen, we don't want you to take that walk in the affirmation journal alone. So what we're saying is go ahead, get your journal, order it on, because we're about to do something that's super exciting. We're about to unroll, unveil, unleash small groups so that we get a chance to walk the affirmation journal together week by week.
This is really exciting, and I love it because our heart is community.
Yes.
And we need community. We need to be connected to other people. We need a place to have a voice and to hear the voices of others who have that shared experience. And so we are really excited to take this tool and be able to walk with our community, and one that gets us an opportunity to start knowing you and for you to start knowing us a little bit better. And we just wanted you to have an additional place to be and get the most out of what we want to provide for you guys. So
I like to say it's where we get a chance to do life together, And you'll find when we release and bring you all the details, so stay plugged in and stay connected. But you'll find that there'll be sometimes things that you want to share in the group, sometimes things you don't. And guess what? Hashtag it's okay. It's okay, because we're gonna walk together and be here for one another, and you'll be surprised at what we're able to glean and what we're able to do together. Yeah. Well, listen, we know that season number 1 was absolutely incredible, and as we've already shared with you, as we're moving into season number 2, it is going to be fantabulous, right? So if you enjoyed season number 1, season number 2 is going to be absolutely fantabulous. And we cannot wait to kick it off with our ecosystem.
yes, ma'am. I'm looking forward to the conversations. I'm looking forward to the guests that we're going to have. I'm looking forward to more caregiver voices as you guys reach out to us, and we can just ask some really good questions and hear from you guys. So again, get in touch with us any way you can, but especially through our website. Send us an email and get connected, because we do want to hear from you.
Yeah. Well, Jessica, I want to say thank you. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for, coming up and having the approach, right? Because it was both where God was tugging and moving in both of our lives in one way or the other. But just the mere fact that it was a yes, and we both came to the table along, of course, with our editorial host, Miriam Lewis. And we did it. When you look back on season 1, you're like, we did it.
We did.
It's like we
absolutely
did it. And I'm very excited about it because I know that being a caregiver, I have gleaned so much in season number 1 that, can I say something? I wish that someone had told me that there were resources like this out here and starting out in caregiving. So I just want to encourage people to tell everyone because your yes, my yes, our yes is what brought us here to this table, as caregivers. And I just thank you because it's been an incredible run, and I'm looking forward to season number 2.
I am just honestly in awe. I really am. I couldn't believe when that thought popped in my head. You were speaking and we're going to do a podcast together. And you walked straight up and I said it to you laughing, thinking this is never going to happen. But it was an immediate yes for both of us. And within 15 minutes, I'm not even exaggerating, we had the name of this podcast. Yes. 15 minutes after the yes, and it has been like that ever since. Everything has just been one thing after the next, and it has been awe-inspiring. The people we've already begun to meet on both sides of the fence, caregivers and people who provide resources for caregivers. And I am just so excited because we know the podcast is so critical and so important, but it's also just the beginning. And we are excited for the seasons to come, the people who are going to come, and just the exploration of what else do we have as a community to offer each other.
Yeah. Well, listen, what we want to do is we want to encourage you. Pull up a chair, right? Because this is the place where we get a chance to share and understand that we are graced to care together. We'll see you in season number 2. Goodbye, everybody.
In caregiving, you're never meant to walk alone. We're graced to care together.